What is going on, everybody? KMess here for Birds vs. Boys with another Dallas Cowboys free agency move, but this time a trade. The Cowboys have been extremely selectively aggressive, as Stephen Jones likes to put it, in this offseason so far, right? They first jumped out of the gate, re-signed Oso Digizua. Great deal. $20 million per year. His market value was around 26 to 27. It was being said. We saw what Milton Williams got, the highest contract ever in New England Patriots history, 26 a year. So they did a great job there. Lost Jordan Lewis. That is a horrible, horrible situation to lose your nickel. And this is something that is catapulting into the trade I'm about to talk about, because now they need cornerback nickel depth. They've got nobody. They've got Deron Bland. They have Trayvon Diggs, who we don't even know if he's going to be ready for the start of the season, midseason, end of the season. Don't know what he's going to be. Andrew Booth is hurt and stinks. They've got nobody. So now they're being forced into the cornerback battle, per se, more than they wanted to. They're going to have to draft guys, but they also need to add free agent cornerbacks. Now, my guy, Asante Samuel Jr., still sitting out there. If everyone remembers, they took Kelvin, Boss Man Fat, Burnt Man Toast, Joseph, 3 spots ahead of Asante Samuel Jr. He's now a free agent, still sitting out there. I know he's a little undersized, but I'll take a flyer on him right now in free agency. But the Cowboys have made a trade, and this is now the 3rd former first-round pick that the Dallas Cowboys are picking up this offseason, right? They brought in Solomon Thomas, the former, I think he was the 3rd overall pick out of Stanford. The 49ers got him from the Jets. Now, I get it. His former D-line coach from the Jets is now the D-line coach for the Dallas Cowboys. I do like what Solomon Thomas brings to the table. He's a great rotational guy with Osa. You can have both of them on the field together, rush the passer. He can play a little bit of end. I like what Solomon Thomas can bring. Then they went and got Peyton Turner, first-round pick from the Saints. He's got 5 sacks in 4 years. He's got, I think, a handful of tackles. Nobody knows who this guy is. And now the Dallas Cowboys have made a move, a trade for another former first-round pick out of Florida, the former cornerback from Florida, Kaiir Elam. I remember him coming out of college, and I remember his stock was high. They said he was one of the smartest guys in that draft. I'll never forget the Bills put out a video from the combine, and on the flight back, and he whipped out his playbook, and he could remember every play, every call. Smart guy. Hasn't translated to the NFL, right? Hasn't been a stud. Kind of been a dud in Buffalo. But nobody, and I mean nobody, loves former first-round busts like the Dallas Cowboys. Sometimes it's worked out for them. Rolando McClain worked out for them. But other times, it has not. So they go and make this move, and it's like, okay, they need cornerback depth. There's not a lot of corners out there, and the cornerback money was flying the first 2 days of free agency or the tampering period. Cornerback money was getting stupid. There were guys that we were hoping the Cowboys would be in on. Tre'Davious White, or Ward, excuse me, from the 49ers. And if you don't forget, the Cowboys had him rookie year, traded him away. Could have had him. Played for Kansas City, played for the Niners, and now he's going up to Indianapolis. So that's not coming here to Dallas. So they make the trade for the cornerback that nobody's excited about now, right? He's a name, former first-round pick. But is he going to be another Kelvin Joseph? Is he going to be another Anthony Brown? The cornerback situation in Dallas is dire. But okay, they need to make a move, right? Probably a conditional 6, maybe a 7. Nope. They gave up a 5th. Now I get it. They have 4 fifth-round picks. But this team needs talent. This team needs young talent. And to give up one of those fifths that maybe you could move in the draft for this kind of guy, again, an absolute overpay in a trade. Trey Lance, 4th-round pick. Would have loved to have had that 4th-round pick. Maybe you could have got a running back last year when you couldn't because you didn't have the 4th, but you had Trey Lance. You never saw the field. And then finally, in the last game ever in the Cowboys uniform, we got to see the field. Now he's gone. So that was a complete and utter bust. Then this past year, traded for Jonathan Mingo, wide receiver, who was almost going to be cut by the Carolina Panthers for a 4th-round pick. Deebo Samuel just went for a 5th. And they need wide receiver help. A lot of it. Who's the 2? Who's your wide receiver 2 right now? Tell me. Please tell me. CeeDee Lamb and enter name. Tolbert? God, no. You're going to bring Michael Gallup back now that he's making a return? Cooper Kupp's sitting out there. Maybe you could have swung a 7th. Now, I get it. Trades like that can mess up your comp picks, but you just threw a 5th for Kaiir Elam. But now Cooper Kupp is a free agent, and there are said to be multiple suitors, which means, i.e., the Cowboys are out because they have not paid an outside free agent close to $10 million since Greg Hardy 10 years ago. The cap has gone up $135 million, and the Cowboys still have not signed someone for over $6 million a year as an outside free agent. Selectively aggressive, baby. But they got a corner. They're making moves, right? That's what we wanted. Got a running back, which I don't hate the running back deal from Denver. He can still catch the ball out of the backfield. He can protect. Can't run after contact. The worst running back in the league last year after contact. But if he's your number 2-ish, you get a stud in the draft, I'm cool with it. But you got to get a stud in the draft. Gentry. Probably not. Probably not going to take running back at 12. But does this mean they're going to go and take Will Johnson, the cornerback from Michigan, who's said to not possibly run the 40 at all this offseason? And now he's got another hamstring injury, and he's slow as it is. You're gonna take him at 12 and then pair him with Kaiir Elam and then Trayvon Diggs coming off another knee surgery and Duron Bland. Awesome. It's not close, guys. Now, I know some people are like, oh, well, the Eagles are losing talent left and right. They lost Milton Williams. They lost Josh Sweat, Gainwell. Yeah. But do you know what the Eagles have? Young talent. Young talent that has stepped in immediately and been difference makers. Difference makers on a Super Bowl run, in a Super Bowl. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, all these young dudes. Who do the Cowboys have in the last couple years? How's Mozzie Smith paying out for you? Could have had Nolan Smith, who's sitting there on the Philadelphia Eagles making impact plays. How is Tyler Guyton this year? Now I get it. He's a project, and we always knew it was, but he doesn't look like the light bulb's just going to switch any day. Marshawn Nealon, hopefully he can stay healthy and come together a little bit. But what I'm saying is that Tolbert, a couple years down the line, Schoonmaker from Michigan. The difference is the Eagles have the ability to shed some of these players, Darius Slay, who have helped them win a Super Bowl, trade Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, because they have young talent. Young talent that they're going to have to pay. I mean, Milton Williams is getting 26. Just imagine what Jalen Carter is going to want in a couple of years. 35, 38. They have the ability because they have young talent. The Cowboys, it's a Swiss cheese roster right now. There are holes everywhere. You want to go into the season with this offensive line? This linebacker core? Who's playing wide receiver behind CeeDee Lamb? We going to stop anybody on the back end? You really, really feel confident in the safety group? Malik Hooker. Oh, I wish they played Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas more. Tight end's a sneaky need. Ferguson needs to have a better year this year. What's Schoonmaker going to give you? They're running back. Rico's not coming back. I know we're going to draft one, but they're going to draft the right time and get the right guy. What I'm saying is there are holes everywhere on this roster. They need to make more moves. Throw some more flyers. They have plenty of cap space. They flipped the switch on CD. They flipped the switch on Dak. They should have just got the deal done with Micah. I don't need $40 million, he said. Okay. And Myles Garrett got 40. He was saying he didn't need 40 because the high was 35. Now the high's 40. He's going to say, I don't need 45. You're going to be paying him 42. If you would have just taken care of it when he was right there sitting at the table saying, let's get a deal done so I can help out the team and we can get more players, you would have got $10 more million in cap space. You can't fill all the holes that this team has in the draft. You just can't. You have to draft perfectly. And now you just lost one of your draft picks. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys are a laughingstock. They're making moves. Don't get me wrong. They re-signed a lot of their own guys. I'm all in on taking Osa back. Super glad they got Anger and Sieg, the long snapper and punter, back. Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas. Glad those guys are all back. But we're going to miss Jordan Lewis. Who is playing middle linebacker? Now, I was very happy they were actually in on Dre Greenlaw, and they were prepared to pay $10 million a year for him. And he would have brought an edge and a fire and a physicality and just a mentality to this team that hasn't had that in a long time. But they lost out. Go win some more. There's still talent out there. Go get Cooper Kupp. Double down, get Amari Cooper too. You need dudes. You need a lot of players, including vets, that can bring this thing together. And then you bring in your draft class as the icing on the cake. Your draft class can't be the foundation in year one, unless you're the Eagles. You mix them in, but you can't fill all your voids just in the draft. So Dallas Cowboys throw a 5 to the Bills. They are just, Bills Mafia is setting every table on fire and jumping through every single one of them off campers, celebrating this 5th round pick. They want Elam out of there. Now he's gone. Heading to Dallas, where his dad played. That's another thing the Cowboys like, familiarity. Your daddy played for us? Come on down. That's why if Shiloh Sanders is sitting there in the 7th round, Deion Sanders kid, safety from Colorado, watch. Aiden and I have to get back together for a full episode. Sorry for all of our loyal watchers and listeners out there. Aiden was in spring training, enjoying every second of it. Then I think his phone broke. There's a lot been going on. I got kids running around. But we will be getting back together for a full episode very soon. But you got to check all the Aiden's Eagles content that has been going wild on TikTok, YouTube, and all that. But thank you for tuning in here for this 15-minute breakdown of Cowboys free agency right now. Again, they have made moves. I enjoy the Solomon Thomas signing. Not so much throwing a 5 for former first-round bust at cornerback out of Florida. But we will see. The sun is shining. The sun doesn't set till after 7:30. It's in the 60s. Cowboys offense off season ain't going to keep me down, baby. Just another year. Just all part of it. It's what we do. Grocery outlet, bargain market. That's Jerry Jones and Steve Jones' favorite song. All right, everybody, enjoy. Hit the comments below. Let me know what you think of the Dallas Cowboys offseason so far, including this trade, giving up a 5 for the former first-round pick from Buffalo.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there. There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach. That is
the team you promised me you were going to be this year.
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.